Hello everyone, welcome to the guide on Scraplands. Now after the metal fields you have quite a lot of options. You can go to the Castle of Light, to the Cult Lands, or here to the Scraplands, or up top here on the right next to the Sea Titans. I've picked the Scraplands for one reason, because they have plenty of scrap, but most importantly weapon parts. So you can get a lot of stuff here, really like lots. And I've upgraded my third silent weapon with all the stuff from here, so now all of my silent weapons do damage of 6. There are quite a lot of enemies here. You have plenty of butchers walking back and forth, hunters walking back and forth, one bedbot walking back and forth, and you have two big boys. One of the big boys is the Chief Deadfinger. He has a lot of HP and some armor, and then you have the tank, which has even more HP and even more armor. So you gotta think about what kind of people you want to use for these two boys, and then you're gonna make sure that you're using them in the rest of this fight as well, so that they can revive their abilities. And I gotta attack the medbot now. What do I have for the medbot? I have Pharaoh because she has the Circuit Breaker ability. So that's what I'm going to use up first. So I'm going to move her as close as I can, which is here, where she gets 100% shot from. And then I'm going to use her up to use the Circuit Breaker and disable the medbot. Nice. She disabled him very nicely. Next up we have Selma. Selma has the crossbow, and she's going to move... She's actually going to move up here, because this is going to give her a higher crit chance, so that's what we want to use. So we're going to move her up there, and she's going to have a 40% crit chance. It's not completely necessary for this fight, but I like it when you have a higher crit chance. And then we're going to move Borman, and the reason why I have him here is because I want to have a higher crit chance, just as with Selma. And he has a higher crit chance when he's hidden, so now we have a 60% chance of a crit chance. Okay, we're going to continue in the next turn. He's still disabled, so we're going to take Borman again. And then we're going to continue with Pharaoh.
Give up now and I'll go easy on ya.
And finish him off with Selma. And we still have like one turn to spare. Actually more, because Pharaoh made him disabled for an extra turn. Okay, we're going to move Selma back so that nobody sees her. Oh, nice. Okay. Let me just hide them here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Everybody follow me. And everybody's Pharaoh. Now, after we have killed this guy, we're going to move on to the next person, which is going to be the hunter up on top. And why is it the hunter up on top? Well, the witches you always want to leave for last, just in case you need to kill enough enemies to revive some of your abilities. And the reason why I want to kill the hunter up top and not another hunter that's down on the bottom is because I want to be able to kill those two guys from the higher ground, because then with both Dax and Selma we have increased crit chance, so we might not need to use any abilities to kill them. I would like that. So that's why we want to kill this hunter first. Now you can use Hog Rush for this hunter, but the problem with that is often it will actually alert the guys down there, because he will hit him into like the side fence or whatever that is. So instead we're going to use the Twitch Shot ability. So make sure that you equip the Twitch Shot either on Selma or on Borman. So people-wise, we want to make sure that you're using the people who will recharge some of their abilities. So in my case, that's Selma. I definitely need Borman because I need the Twitch Shot, but Selma, she doesn't have a fully recharged Twitch Shot, so that's why we're using her. I have recharged every other ability that I have on everybody else. So Magnus can use everything, Dax can use everything, so it doesn't matter. Well, Dax can use the Circuit Breaker, but he can use all the other stuff, and we don't need the Circuit Breaker anymore. So that's why doesn't matter who you take. So I'm going to keep Pharaoh, because it's relevant. Now the hunter's moving away, which is great for us, so we're going to follow him a little bit. And these guys down there, they cannot see up here, so we can attack him at any point. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to attack him now. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use Selma. Move her to somewhere where she has 100% shot, which is, for example, right here. I'm going to move there. And then she's going to use her shot. So she's just going to fire her weapon. Then we're going to use Borman. And on Borman, we're going to use the Twitch Shot. So we're going to move him here, from where she has 100% shot. And then we're going to use the twitch shot on the hunter. Oh, and we got a critical hit on regular hit. Then we can just finish the hunter off with Pharaoh. So let's do it.
I am the beautiful weapon.
Now that was a good kill.
Okay, let me prep everybody for the next enemy. Now for this one we're gonna take Dax, and the reason for that is because he has increased crit chance when he's fighting from a high ground. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we have all of our people on a high ground, and we can just attack the hunter below us, and we're gonna have a fairly high crit chance. So even though Dax is hidden and he has a high crit chance because he's hidden, and he has a higher crit chance because he's on high ground, and Borman has a higher crit chance because he's hidden, even with all the crit chances, even if you get them, you will still not be able to be certain that you would be able to kill the hunter. You would need Selma to get you a crit chance as well, and that's risky because if she doesn't have it, then you don't have a turn anymore. So the strategy here is to use the twitch shot with Selma. To make the twitch shot work, you actually need to have a weapon that it has an ammo of 2, so you gotta make sure that when you're using Selma, I'm actually gonna show you because I kind of messed this up. Oh, I couldn't use the twitch shot because I had the crossbow and that wouldn't work, but now that I have the ancient pistol I can actually use the twitch shot. So you have Selma, Dax, and Borman. First thing you're gonna do is you're gonna attack the hunter with Dax, because Dax have a crit chance of 85% from up top here, so he's gonna shoot first. And we get a critical hit, which is fantastic. Now it's still not enough because the hunter has an HP of 15, so it's not quite enough. But then we're going to use Borman. Borman has a critical chance of 60%. We got another critical hit, which is perfect. Now the hunter unfortunately still has an HP of 7, so we're actually going to need to use the twitch shot here. Yeah. And we got a critical hit. We missed one, but we got a critical hit on the other one, so that was fine. This is how you kill the hunter. Next up, we're going to kill the butcher. You can just use perfectly regular shots. So, use ducks. And then, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Borman, for example. Nice. We got a lot of critical hits because we are both hidden and on high ground, which is fantastic. Next up,
over here.
Just make sure that Dax is not hiding. If we're gonna attack more people, I like staying here up on the top because it can really help you get a better shot. The only people left, we have the Chief Deadfinger, the Butcher, and the Tank. Now the Chief Deadfinger, he's gonna move all over the place, so you don't have to worry about him. So next up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna kill the Butcher here. Again, doesn't really matter how you do it. Just use regular shots, that's it. Borman's shooting him, and then we're gonna use Pharaoh. She gets a critical. Oh, sorry, Selma, not Pharaoh. She gets a critical hit, and she finished it up. Perfect. Now, what we have left is this tank and the Chief Deadfinger. Now, for the Chief Deadfinger, we're actually going to need we are gonna kill him with silent weapons, but for a tank, we're gonna need the not silent button. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna hide Selma here, and we're gonna hide Dax here as well. And then we're gonna move Borman down, because Borman is going to hog rush the Chief Deadfinger. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move him to here, behind this fence, so that when the Chief Deadfinger comes closer, we can attack him. So we can do it now, I believe. So first up, we're going to move Borman a bit closer to here, and then we're going to use the Hog Rush ability on him to make sure that the Chief Deadfinger is not going to be attacking us. You don't have to worry about, you don't have to worry about the fact that, I'm using the hogger, so I can't use it on the tank, right? Well, tank is immune anyway, so it's not gonna matter.
Don't it?
Okay, we knocked him out, perfect. And then the reason why we have Selma and Dax on top is again because they have a higher crit chance. So we're gonna use Selma, shoot him regular, we get a 7 crit chance, which is fantastic. Same thing with Dax. Whoa, Dax knocked him back quite a bit. So we lowered his HP to 13, which is amazing. Then we're gonna continue with Dax again. Whoa, we keep hitting him back. Might be a rougher shot for Selma now, at least so far. Oh, actually, but we can just finish him off with Borman. So we kill him quite nicely.
Split up.
What you gotta do for these guys is... Sorry, let me move Borman away. I didn't want to do that. You are going to have Selma and Dax hidden up top here, and you gotta make sure that you give them a really good weapon. So for Dax, I gave him the boomstick, the better boomstick that does a 9 basic damage and a 14 a crit chance. Selma has 7 and 10 with the Rambino, and Borman has 8 and 12 the other boomstick. Then we're going to take Borman and we're going to move him down there. Why are we doing that? Why are we moving him down, right? And the reason for that is that I want to make sure that the tank is going to attack him, so I'm going to move him up close here, and then I'm going to move him close and use the stone skin so that the tank will actually like hit me. All he's got. And that's going to give me an extra turn for the guys up there, which is going to be pretty important. So let's start. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to move Borman. Wait, one more thing you gotta do. There's one more thing you gotta do, because the tank, he has the ability to hog rush you, and you don't want that to happen to Borman. So we're going to have to use the tree hugger to make sure that the tank cannot move. Alternatively, you could give Borman the X-Warrior armor. I'm just going to use the tree hugger. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. Just make sure that Selma has equipped the tree hugger and Borman has equipped the stone skin. And then on Dax you want to have the skull splitter and you want to have the alpinist. This is important. Probably not going to need the skull splitter, but just in case. Okay, so first up we're going to use Borman. Move him to somewhere where he has a 100% shot, which is here, for example. And then you're going to use the stone skin. Okay, and then you can still shoot, so you're going to switch your weapon to the boomstick. Actually, I'm not going to shoot him just yet, because the boomstick has a chance, 100% chance to knock him back, and I'm worried that if I knock him back, the shots from my guys up here are not going to be so good. So, first up, we're going to use Dax. We're going to switch his weapon to the boomstick, which is a 14 crit chance. We have a 75% chance of a crit chance, and we're just going to shoot. And we got a crit chance, so we hit him for 11 because of the armor, which is so good. Next up, we're going to use Selma, and we're going to use the tree hugger to make sure that he cannot move. Okay, he cannot move. We're going to switch her weapon to the Rambino, and she has a 45% chance of a crit chance. We didn't get a crit chance. That's alright, no need to freak out. It's fine. And then, finally, we can shoot with Borman. We don't have a high crit chance, but we have a high regular shot. He has the stone skin, so we're not too worried for shooting. Now the tank should shoot at Borman because he's the closest. Yes. This is important because if you could use also a side point, you could use the Joker ability with Borman. I haven't used that, but you could switch to Twitch shot for the Joker and then use the Joker and the Stonekins to be 100% certain that it's going to shoot at you. But I have found that in most cases the enemies are sort of nice enough that they tend to shoot the enemy who's the closest. I'm going to move Borman closer and shoot. Actually, again, no, we're going to start with our other guys, so we're going to shoot with Dax first. Then Selma, and then we're going to shoot with Borman last. Again, because of the knockback functionality of his weapon. Okay, we don't even need to use Borman. Okay, this is how you do it. This is how you clear Scraplands. The only thing to remember here is to remember which kind of abilities you need for these last 2 fights, which is Hog Rush on Borman, Stone Skinner on Borman, and Tree Hugger on Selma. And in case the Tree Hugger and the Stone Skinner are not going to need in the previous fights, but the Hog Rush you might. So you got to remember to keep having Borman and make sure that he can use the Hog Rush. So for example, if you used it in the previous turns, then you got to make sure that you have enough enemies to kill again to get to this, so that you can use it again in this final fight. Otherwise, this is quite a great place to find a lot of scrap and a lot of weapon parts. And yeah, tell me what's your strategy for killing these guys. And hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.